Hey, what's going on, guys? Agent White Dragon here. So this is going to be a deck profile that a few of you guys requested. It was a budget version of Inzektors. And I really feel that it needs to Hornet to make the deck really viable. But yeah, let me get started with the deck profile and then I'll explain some of the things. So Chaos Sorcerer, pretty darn good. You know, you run lights and darks and it kind of works relatively well. Cyber Dragons, another great card because it works really well with another card, Birdman. And you can Cyber Dragon, then go for your Inzektor play. And if they ruin your Inzektor play, you can possibly return the Inzektor. If they Fiendish Chain it, you know, it's really good when they Fiendish Chain your Inzektor and you already have a Cyber Dragon on the field and you have a Birdman in your hand because you can just return the Inzektor. So you can essentially do the play next turn, plus you can synchro up for an 8 if you wish to, or just attack. Really allows a lot more options, and I really feel that Cyber Dragon's overall solid card. I mean, with main deck triple Cyber Dragon, you should have no problem against Karakuri. Yeah, and then next up, we have Dark Arm Dragon, you know, got reprinted as a common, but yeah, a relatively good card in Inzektors. Next up, I do like to play 3 Valor in it. Valor is also getting a reprint, but I have a whole bunch of cards down here that if you happen to not have any of these cards, you can swap them out. But again, I think you need at least 2 Hornet to make the deck really viable. Next up, we play 2 Birdman. The other one's just hiding down there. We play Gores, triple Centipede, triple Dragonfly, 1 Gigamantis. If you don't have Gigamantis, you can again swap it out for any of the cards below, which I'll get into later. And then yeah, double Hornet, really good. And then Sangan, then double Trigodia, and then for the other monsters, then they're down here kind of because I swapped them out for other things. But yeah, Mystic Tomato will help a little bit more with consistency as far as getting you know, Hornet to your hand or Hornet on the field and letting it die. But I feel like the best play though, if you don't happen to have Sangan in your hand, you go Mystic Tomato for Sangan, and then you sack Sangan for Caius. That way you can add a Hornet or a Dragonfly or whatever card that you need in the situation. And you can just add that to your hand, and it really does help out quite a bit. Also, you know, you can search out Birdman with Sangan, really whatever you need to, because Birdman is just really good. But yeah, on to the spells now. We got Allure, Dark Hole, Foolish, Heavy, Reborn. I do still like to play Triple Duality. I mean, it got reprinted as a super. It's relatively easy to come by. Again, with the 10 cards, Solemn Warning also there. Trap which will be gone in a few days, so just swap it out for double Torrential Tribute. It's just, Torrential Tribute's an amazing card, because it's like, oh, you lose an Inzektor, it's fine, because you've already added another Dragonfly, because you guys know the standard combo. And then Mirror Force, which is actually really good. What's really fun to do is, when you get for your Inzektor play, just leave Centipede and Dragonfly there. Don't exceed into anything, just leave them there, and then set Mirror Force, because they're like, oh, these are really weak, I can attack over them, and then they lose because of that, which is kind of funny. But yeah, Tomato helps out just getting out Hornet. I mean, keep in mind you won't be able to equip Hornet once it's on the field. You have to have it in your hand or in the graveyard. So if they have maybe 2 monsters, you go Tomato die, get Sangan dies, get Hornet. And then, you know, add Hornet to your hand, obviously. But yeah, and then like the run random Caius is just kind of there for fun. It's a relatively decent card too. I mean, it's Caius. He kind of ruins a lot of people's plays. Also, sometimes when they don't have lots of cards on the field, you don't really need to like Inzektor. I mean, depending on what deck you're playing against, you could just go Special Summon Cyber Dragon, sack for Caius, even though, you know, that's not the greatest play. But if they only have, you know, just their monster set and you think it's a Sangan, then it is a pretty good play. But yeah, so for some of the cards that you can swap out for, if you don't happen to have any of these cards, because I know some people might not want to play with Triple Duality or they don't have access to Effect Valor. But again, you do have to play 2 Hornet. It's just too good not to play. I mean, yeah, you have Foolish for it, but you can't really run the deck with 1 Hornet. Because if it gets, like, you know, crowed or it goes away, even though Trishula is gone right now. But yeah, anyways, so Thunder King, 2 spaces, and then a Compulse, Mind Control. I wish I had room to main deck this. But I just really like the Birdman too much. And then Raikou, I mean, yeah, there's some stuff that you don't want to mill, but realistically, it's not that bad. If you're playing Raikous, you could play a Pot of Avarice as well, just because, you know, your Inzektor plays gets you a lot of monsters to the graveyard. And then Spirit Reaper, another great card, because, you know, it allows you to exceed for, you know, Leviair if you happen to have that, or, you know, number 17 for extra attack. Same thing with Snowman Eater. He just kind of survives on the field. And he is level 3, so it's really good. He's the greatest answer to Thunder King ever, though. And then 1 Doomcowl. I'm not really a fan of Doomcowl, but I think it's okay. I mean, this format is kind of, you know, heavy monster based, and Doom Cal is pretty good with dealing with that. Then we have Armageddon Knights, and then Grepher, because you do play, Tragodia, which is a good card to send to the graveyard. Giga Mantis is also good, and you have Gores, and you have Dark Armed, although usually you don't want to send those to the grave. But yeah, I mean, it can just allow you to still summon. The thing with Armageddon Knight is when you summon Armageddon Knight, it's like, okay, now what do? You just wait. You know what I mean? And with Grepher, you can at least send the Hornet to the graveyard. If you special summon it by, sending I guess Chaos Sorcerer, if you have, dead Chaos Sorcerer, yeah, you can just send it to the graveyard, and then you can special summon your Inzektor, pop the field, and then that way you have, extra 1700 attack, which isn't that bad. And then last two cards, I would main deck these if you happen to have them, obviously, but then that wouldn't be a budget variant. As far as the extra deck in this, everything should be familiar, except for this card over here, and it's Underground Arachnid, and you make him with Birdman plus any of the Inzektors, really, except for Giga Mantis, or, yeah, you pretty much won't be getting out Giga Mantis in attack mode. Very rarely, except for when you tribute summon for him, if you ever need to do that, for whatever reason. But, yeah, so, basically, that's the deck profile for a budget variant. Yeah, I mean, this is as budget as I can make it, really. And yeah, you don't have to play Veilers, but I feel like, again, I mentioned it like 4 times already, but you have to have at least 2 Hornet. Like, you can't really play Inzektors with 1 Hornet. Realistically, you're just not going to draw into it. I guess if you played maybe triple Mystic Tomato, you could try it. But, yeah. So yeah, that's the deck profile. I mean, if you happen to have any of these, run the ones that you do have. I'll go through them really quick so you can see a picture of them. Oh, Acid Golem's pretty good. Even though it almost always kills me all the time. And Zenmane's obviously, and Mistworm, because I'm just pretty much setting up for the new list. But yeah, so if there's any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. But yeah, this is kind of how I would play Inzektors if I only happen to have 2 Hornet and I didn't have Tour Guides yet, because Tour Guide will be getting reprinted soon though. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Asian Eyes White Dragon, signing out.